And of course, a whole lot of looking good is being healthy. And that, of course, means eating healthy. But surprisingly, more than 60% of Americans are not getting enough whole grain in their diet. And that is why we are here in our New Mexico-style kitchen today, about to talk to my favorite doctor from the doctors. Travis Stork is joining us live via satellite from Nashville. Good morning, Dr. Travis Stork.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you. I watch you all the time, and I'm so happy you're finally with us today to talk about something so important. And let's get right to it. Why are whole grains such a key component of eating healthy?
Well, it's actually fewer than 5% of us are getting the amount of whole grains that we're supposed to. And that's why when the dietary guidelines came out, we realized just even though 60% of us thought we were getting enough, we're not. And the reason whole grains are so important is because whole grains, when you replace refined grains with whole grains, can reduce your risk of being overweight, diabetes, heart disease, and cancers, or some cancers. And it's a simple switch, but a lot of people don't realize that they're not getting enough whole grains, and sometimes don't even know how to go about getting more of them in their diet.
So you are the one to ask, how do we go about getting more?
Well, the most important thing to do, and one of the reasons I partnered with General Mills to talk about whole grains, is the importance of looking at the food you're buying and making sure that the first ingredient or the ingredient is whole grain, whether it's the whole wheat grain, the whole oats, making sure it says whole, because that means that all the nutritious elements, the fibers, are still intact and haven't been stripped away.
So what if it says multigrain? What is that? What's the difference if it's multigrain?
Multigrain doesn't mean it's whole grain. Multigrain just means there's different types of grain in it.
Okay.
Now, that doesn't mean, so bread could say multigrain or cereal could say multigrain, and the multiple grains could all be whole grains.
Right.
Or not. And so that's why, I have to be totally honest with you. When I started learning about health and nutrition, I didn't know the difference. I've had to make the switch. So the key word there is whole.
Okay.
And if you go with whole grain, if you see that word whole, you know you're getting the real deal.
And it's also good to know, of course, like you said, with weight management, because that's a big part of our daily issues, is trying to control our weight and make sure that we stay not only healthy, but we want to look good too. So that's a really good point. Now, General Mills actually has a plant here in Albuquerque, so you're going to have to come visit us here in Albuquerque. And you're partnering right now with them to challenge families to eat more of those whole grains. So tell us a little bit about the challenge.
Well, I'm personally not a big part of the challenge itself, but I think what I've been trying to do at General Mills is they've made a commitment to whole grains when it comes to their cereals. And I applaud those efforts, because I think we need to get this from a two-pronged end. General Mills is making an effort to increase whole grains. The more companies that do that, the easier it is for you as a consumer to go to the store and go home eating enough whole grains. But my personal challenge to everyone is we're supposed to eat 48 grams of whole grains a day.
Wow.
Most of us, that's 3 servings. Most of us, we may get a half a serving or less a day. So start with breakfast on. Make sure you're getting whole grain cereal for breakfast or whole wheat toast. When you're doing dinner, switch out the white rice. Go with brown rice. Whole wheat pasta. These are simple changes to get those 3 servings. And I think it's a worthwhile challenge, because it really can improve your health. And like you said, hey, if you can help manage your weight better, it may improve your appearance as well.
Exactly, and then we can do both. And actually, we can enjoy the food, too, because it does taste good, doesn't it?
Again, I've made the switch in my own life, and once you've switched to whole grains, you won't want to go back, because I think it tastes better. It's more wholesome, and also the great thing about whole grains is because it's filled with fiber and a lot of the other nutrients that you lose when you refine it, is you'll feel full longer.
True.
And you won't get the same blood sugar spikes. And so that leads to not only more satiation as far as not being as hungry, but better for your body, because you don't get those fluctuations in your blood sugar.
So true. I mean, I was a big eater of white rice, and now I only eat brown, and I actually prefer it. So you're right. You're absolutely right. Once you make the switch, it's at least worth it, because not only will you look and feel better, but you actually might really enjoy it more. So really good advice. Where can we go for more information?
You can go to wholegrainnation.com.
Wholegrainnation.com. Perfect. Dr. Travis Stork, it's wonderful to see you and to talk to you. Thanks so much for being with us here on New Mexico Style.
Thanks for having me. Have a great one.
You too.